Good morning, children. Welcome back. Today we are going to continue with the second part or the second session of chapter number 1, that is computer hardware.
Non-impact printers. Non-impact printers do not strike the print head against the ink ribbon. So there is no print head which strikes directly on the paper. Instead of that, the liquid ink is sprinkled over the paper. Okay, so create high quality printer. As you see, in inkjet printers, liquid ink is sprinkled with the help of a nozzle on the paper to form a character, and hence it generates less noise. So since no head is striking on the paper, it is less noisy. These printers are faster than impact printers. They print very fast. The common type of non-impact printers are laser printer at the bottom here and inkjet printer on the top. So they are used for high quality printings where large amount of formatting of text, graphics, pictures, etc. are required. Plotter. A plotter is a special type of printer used for printing high quality graphs or diagrams. Plotters are used by engineers, architects and map makers to print plans of buildings, diagrams of machines or large scale maps. So as you see, maps, charts and plans of buildings, architectural buildings or designs of machines, etc. are printed in a big sheets of rolled paper. So they cannot be fitted in normal printers for a printout. So for that, plotter is used. It almost look like a knitting machine, big size, and rolls of papers are fed inside to print large size of building drawings and maps and etc., which requires a huge size. Components inside a CPU box. Various hardware components such as a motherboard, processor or CPU, memory chips, RAM and ROM, hard disk drives and SMPS are present inside the CPU box. So this CPU box consists of all the hardware main component which actually work for the computer system. SMPS. SMPS stands for switched mode power supply. It converts the incoming electricity into proper voltage and supplies it to the other parts inside the CPU. So every part of the CPU doesn't require a huge voltage. Normally in our domestic standard, in the socket where we inside the plug, so all those in the power there is up to 220 volt. So that 220 volt is not required for the delicate components inside the CPU cabinet. Suppose the motherboard requires only 24 volt, the hard disk requires only 12 volts. So different components require different types of voltages. So this SMPS stands as a voltage transformer. It converts all those high voltage into low voltage and gives a constant power supply to it, so that the components are not damaged. So it acts as a voltage stabilizer. Since it cuts down the voltage, so that's why it generates heat. So you can see there is a fan at the back. So heat is generated, the heat sink is there, and the fan takes out the heat inside of the component to make it cool. Motherboard. The motherboard is a main circuit board that holds many of the crucial components of the computer system. So it contains all the important critical components of the computer system. It allows all other parts to receive the power and communicate with one another. So first the power comes to motherboard, then it distributes all the power to other parts, and it communicates, each and every part of the motherboard communicates with the other parts of the computer system. Processor or CPU is the brain of the computer system. It is the main part. It is present on the motherboard. The CPU processes the data and instructions provided through the input devices and then process the result to the output devices. Whatever we input through the input devices, keyboard or mouse, goes to the processor or the CPU. It processes or converts into the machine understandable form. After the calculation, again it is converted back to the user understandable form and sent to the output devices so that we can get the result and understand it. Memory chips. It is an important component in the motherboard. There are two types of memory chips in the motherboard, RAM and ROM. First, RAM. RAM stands for Random Access Memory. It is placed in the form of a chip on the motherboard. It is a read-write memory. Means anytime, whenever we work, we can read on from the RAM whatever is the contents, and also we can write onto it. When a computer starts, it loads the operating system in RAM. So the operating system software is in a hard disk. When the computer system is started or booted, that operating system from the hard disk, that software is loaded in the RAM and makes the computer system ready. It is a volatile memory. Why volatile? As long as the power is there in the computer system and the RAM, the data are stored in RAM. As soon as the computer system is switched off, all the data inside the RAM gets erased. So we always save our files before shutting down the computer system. So when we work on the file, we are directly working on the RAM. After making changes, when we save, a copy of the file or copy of the data is saved from the volatile memory RAM to our hard disk drives or our permanent storage devices, so that we can see it the next day. These are the RAM chips. Consist of capacitors. It stores the charge as long as the power is there. It stores the information within it as long as the power is switched on. When the power supply is off, the information in RAM is lost. It is a volatile memory. ROM. It stands for read-only memory. It is also a memory chip on which the data is pre-recorded. It is previously recorded, the data. Once recorded, the data can't be removed. It can only be read. It is a non-volatile memory. That is, it retains the data even if the power is switched off. This is more important. It stores a special software called BIOS, Basic Input Output System, which helps to load the operating system when a computer system is switched on. So ROM is a read-only memory. It is inbuilt in the motherboard. It contains the information which is pre-recorded, previously recorded by the manufacturer of the motherboard. It can be modified or removed. Okay, so it consists of a special software known as BIOS, Basic Input Output System, which helps to load the operating system from the hard disk to the memory or RAM at the time when the computer is switched on. So this is also known as a read-only memory. So non-volatile memory. Data remains as long as the computer is switched on or off. So next day when you come, automatically you will see that the BIOS is working and the operating system is loaded from the hard disk to RAM. So even if the power is off, the data is not lost. Ports. Ports are the inlets on the CPU box that let us plug various devices such as mouse, keyboard or printer to a computer system. Nowadays, most of the devices are connected through USB or Universal Serial Bus ports. You see at the back of the CPU cabinet, these are the ports. So they are the sockets or the inlets. This is your green color is your mouse port. This is PS2 mouse port. This is PS2 keyboard port. These two are the audio ports. Okay, this is your printer port, LPT1. This is the video or the VGA card port. Here 1, 2, 3, 4 USB ports are there. This is your LAN port where the network card is attached, and this is your power connection to the SMPS. So these are the inlets which helps to add or attach different types of devices to a computer system. Disk drives. They are the storage devices that let us store and retrieve data and applications from the storage devices such as hard disk, CD and DVD. So they are the disk drives present. First, the hard disk. Hard disk is the main storage device found inside the CPU box. It can store large amount of data. So nowadays we can have 500 GB or 1 TB or more than 1 TB hard disk, 1 terabyte of hard disk. It stores all our computers, programs, softwares, etc. are stored here. It is a permanent storage device. and it's very fast. Then comes CDs and DVDs. CDs are circular in shape and can store a lot of data. So a normal CD can store at least 700 MB of data, and DVD is like a CD, but it stores a capacity 6 times more than that of a CD.
So children, that's all for today. Hope you have understood. Until the next class, until the next video, goodbye and happy learning.